Next thing we're going to remove is the clutch and the flywheel from the back of the motor. Clutch is held on by 6 large screws like this. You can use a big screwdriver or an impact or something like that. I like to do it with this big screwdriver and putting a lot of pressure on it and then turning it. We're going to remove every other one, so this one will come out. Once you've got every other one removed, we're going to use some bolts, nuts, and washers to hold that in place. Thread those in to where you just took out the 3 screws. And that will hold the clutch compressed while we take out the remaining 3 screws. Then to remove the clutch components, we'll just gradually loosen up these 3 holding bolts or the nuts. Just kind of make our way around 1 or 2 turns at a time and kind of evenly release the clutch. The clutch spring, the clutch outer plate, the clutch friction disc, and the inner plate. And a bunch of nasty asbestos dust that you don't want to be breathing. Next thing we're going to do is remove the flywheel, and we have to start by removing the flywheel nut. Flywheel nut is secured by a washer, and one side of the washer is bent up to secure the nut. So we'll have to flatten that washer. And, Once that retaining washer is flattened, then we can remove the flywheel nut. It's on there tight. It's a 41 millimeter nut. I've got a socket that's been faced so it will fit over that. And if you use an impact gun like this, it'll oftentimes remove it. There's the nut and the washer. It gets torqued down to about 175 foot-pounds, so it'll be on there tight. Now we're ready to pull the flywheel. To pull the flywheel, I've reinstalled the flywheel nut, but leaving it loose. Just put it on there because when the flywheel comes off, it'll keep it from falling off of there. I'm going to be using a tool during this process that cycleworks.net sells, and it's called the many-in-one tool, or what have you. I'm using the tool, a slug that fits into the tool, a bolt, press it off, and two bolts and washers that thread into the flywheel. So put the two bolts through the tool into the flywheel, thread them in. That. And then as we tighten the center bolt, it will pop the flywheel off its taper. So I'm going to tighten this bolt down until it pops the flywheel off. And then we can remove the tool. Remove the flywheel nut and the flywheel. So you'll notice that there are marks on the flywheel for timing. F, full advance, S, timing at idle, and OT for top dead center. Once you pull the flywheel, there is a washer that hides behind it. There's the wave washer for the flywheel. Put that with the flywheel bolt somewhere. And then the last thing you can do is remove the rear main seal using a seal puller of some sort. And then behind that, there is a baffle plate, an oil baffle, and it's concaved, and the concave side goes towards the crankshaft.